Hi, friends. Have you ever wondered why some people see every challenge as an opportunity, while some get scared by even a little failure? Why do some people keep growing continuously, while some remain stuck in the same place? The answer lies in our mindset. Carol Dweck's amazing book helps us understand that our way of thinking is the biggest reason behind our success or failure. This is not just motivational, but a guide based on scientific research that teaches us how the direction of our thinking determines the direction of our lives. In our society, we are often taught that talent and intelligence are the keys to success. But is it really that simple? If that were the case, every talented person would be successful. But reality tells a different story. This book explains that it is not just talent or intelligence, but our mindset that determines how far we can go in life. Dweck defines two types of mindsets: fixed mindset and growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are set from birth and cannot be changed. They fear failure, run from challenges, and avoid criticism. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset believe that their abilities can be continuously developed if they work hard and adopt the right strategies. They see challenges as opportunities, learn from failures, and try to become better every day. Just think, if Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, or Michael Jordan had believed they were born with limited abilities, would they have become great in their fields? No. All of them adopted a growth mindset and took every failure as a new lesson. In this video, we will share the most important points of this book with you so that you too can develop a growth mindset within yourself. We will learn how by changing your mindset, you can achieve tremendous success in your life. If you also want to grow in your career, studies, business, or personal life, then be sure to watch this video till the end. This is not just a book summary, but a golden opportunity to change your thinking and open the doors to new possibilities in your life. So, let's dive into the wisdom of this powerful book and learn how by adopting the right mindset, we can turn our dreams into reality. Chapter 1. The Mindsets. Have you ever wondered why some people keep moving forward even in tough situations while others give up at the smallest difficulty? Why do some people keep learning and growing while others stay confined within self-imposed boundaries? It all depends on the structure of our thinking, which we call mindset. Our thinking determines the direction of our life. Whatever we achieve, whatever we learn, whatever we experience, it is all controlled by our mindset. This is not magic, but scientific truth. Through her research, Dweck found that there are primarily two types of mindsets in people: fixed mindset, rigid thinking, and growth mindset, developing thinking. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities and intelligence are innate and cannot be changed. They think that if they are not good at something, they never will be. They associate failure with their identity and try to avoid challenges. When faced with a tough problem, they feel it is not for them and give up. For them, failure becomes a permanent mark rather than a learning experience. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset believe that their abilities can be developed if they put in effort and adopt the right approach. They know that learning and growth is a process, and failure is part of that process. They see challenges as opportunities and try to learn something from every failure. For them, failure is a lesson, not a permanent stamp. Now the question arises, is our mindset determined in childhood? Can it be changed? Our mindset is completely flexible. It is developed through our experiences, upbringing, and education. When a child is told, "You are very smart," they may think intelligence is a fixed trait. But when they are taught, "You learned this through hard work," they understand that with effort and persistence, anything can be improved. An experiment was conducted on two groups of students. One group was told they were very talented and intelligent. The other group was told they were hardworking and had the ability to learn continuously. When both groups were given a tough task, the first group gave up quickly, thinking it was beyond their talent. The second group kept trying, believing they could learn it. This proves that if we believe we are limited, we remain limited. But if we believe we can learn any skill, then nothing is impossible. Now think about your own life. Have you ever felt that you're not good at something and so you gave up? Have you ever linked a failure to your identity? If yes, it may be a sign of a fixed mindset. But the good news is you can change it. Your mindset determines the direction of your life. If you change your mindset, you can change your future. You can turn every failure into a learning opportunity and see every difficulty as a fresh start. This idea from Dweck is not only useful for personal development, but it is equally effective in education, business, sports, and relationships. When we adopt a growth mindset, we not only improve ourselves, but also inspire those around us. So next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, will I give up or will I turn this into a learning opportunity? The answer will determine which mindset you're living with, fixed or growth. Chapter 2. Inside the Mindsets. Have you ever noticed how you feel when someone tells you that you're not good at something? Do you take it as a challenge and try to improve yourself? Or do you start believing that maybe you'll never be good at that task? This is where our mindset decides how we move forward in life. It's not just about two different ways of thinking, it's a mental framework that influences our every reaction, every decision, and every effort. Mindsets are not just beliefs. They are the driving force that shapes the entire direction of our lives. When a child hears from parents or teachers that you're very smart or you're very talented, it might sound nice, but it can also lay the foundation for a fixed mindset. The hidden effect is that the child may start believing that success depends only on talent, not on effort. Now, if that same child faces a tough situation and fails, they might think maybe they're not as smart as people said they were. They then start avoiding challenges because they fear failure might prove they're not truly talented. On the other hand, if that same child hears you worked really hard, that's why you succeeded. Their mindset shifts toward growth. They start understanding that talent is not fixed. It's the result of hard work, patience, and the right attitude. Now, when they face difficulties, they believe they can learn and improve. People with a fixed mindset take failure as a direct blow to their self-esteem. When faced with a difficult problem, they think maybe they're not capable enough. They avoid challenges so that no one questions their abilities. In contrast, people with a growth mindset see every challenge as an opportunity. They know that behind every failure is a chance to learn something, and they keep trying to better themselves. Dweck and her team divided students into two groups. The first group was given easy questions and praised for being smart. The second group was given tough questions and praised for their effort. Later, when both groups faced even harder questions, the first group panicked and tried to avoid failure. They linked difficulty with failure and failure with their identity. But the second group got more excited and worked harder to solve the problems because they believed that effort makes them better. This showed that when we tie success to talent, we begin to fear failure. But when we see success as part of a learning process, we prepare ourselves for every challenge. Mindsets don't just affect school or careers, they influence every area of our lives. Sports, business, relationships, even our ability to think and adapt. If an athlete is taught that they're born a champion, then one loss can break them completely. But if they're taught that they can improve every day through hard work, then every loss becomes a lesson, and they bounce back stronger. Now look at your own life. How many times have you tried to avoid a challenge just because you felt you weren't good at it? Have you ever taken a failure as the final word on your ability? If yes, it might be a sign of a fixed mindset. But remember, mindsets can change. Dweck teaches us that our thinking is not permanent. It can grow and shift. We can change our habits, our thoughts, and our mindset in a way that constantly makes us better. So next time you face something hard, ask yourself, will I see this as a challenge or will I run from it? Your answer defines your mindset, and if you want, you can change it starting today. Chapter 3. The Truth About Ability and Success. Have you ever felt like some people achieve success without much effort, while others work day and night but still can't go very far? Are some people truly born talented, while others are destined to live in their shadow? Or does success depend on something else entirely? These questions seem simple, but their answers run deep. and they all trace back to one thing: our mindset. Our abilities and our achievements aren't just the result of inborn talent. They depend on how we view our talent and abilities. Our mindset determines how far we can go. There's a widespread myth in our society that talent is everything. If a child is good at math, people say he's a math genius from birth. If someone paints beautifully, they say it's their natural gift. But is that the full story? Is talent the final word? Or can hard work and the right mindset matter even more? Sure, talent can give you a head start, but real success goes to those who work continuously to improve themselves. Dweck observed that people with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are predetermined. If they're good at something, they continue with it. But if they struggle with something, they give up easily. They avoid challenges because they're afraid failure will prove they're not as talented as people think. On the other hand, those with a growth mindset believe that abilities aren't just inborn. They can be developed through effort and the right attitude. They view failure as a lesson and work on their weaknesses. They believe that with consistent practice and smart strategies, they can master anything. A well-known example is Michael Jordan. People say he was born a great athlete. But the truth is different. In school, he was cut from his basketball team because he wasn't good enough at the time. If he had a fixed mindset, he might have quit basketball altogether. But he had a growth mindset. He worked on his weaknesses, practiced for hours, and pushed himself constantly. That's how he became one of the greatest basketball players of all time. His success wasn't just talent. It was the result of hard work, the right mindset, and ongoing improvement. People with a fixed mindset often take the easy road to avoid failure. They prefer to do what they're already good at, so they don't have to prove themselves again. But that thinking eventually holds them back. Growth-minded people aren't afraid of trying new things. They aren't scared of failure. They treat every failure as a learning opportunity. In another study, researchers observed two groups of children. One group was told, "You're very smart," and their success was attributed to intelligence. The second group was told, "You worked hard," and their success was credited to effort. Later, when both groups were given a difficult test, the first group gave up quickly. They wanted to protect their image of being smart and didn't want failure to prove otherwise. But the second group kept trying. They believed that with more effort, they could succeed. This proves that success is not only about natural talent. It's about how we choose to grow that talent. If we believe we can learn any skill, we truly can. But if we believe our abilities are limited, we limit ourselves. Now the choice is yours. Do you want to be among those who avoid challenges and fear failure, or among those who treat every difficulty as a stepping stone? Chapter 4: Sports, Business, and Relationships. The Champion's Mindset. Have you ever wondered what makes a champion different from an average player? Is someone born a winner, or is it something that can be developed? In the business world, are some people successful just because they are naturally talented, or does their mindset set them apart? And does mindset also play a role in relationships? These questions touch the most important parts of our lives: sports, business, and relationships. In all of these areas, it's our mindset that determines success or failure. When we look into the world of sports, we find many athletes whose names are etched in history. But if we look closely at their journeys, we see it wasn't just talent. They had a specific mindset. Take Michael Jordan, for example. There was a time when he was cut from his school basketball team. If he had a fixed mindset, he would have sat back and thought he wasn't a good player. But he had a growth mindset. He believed he could improve through hard work. He didn't take failure as a hit to his self-worth. Instead, he saw it as a challenge. Every day he worked on becoming better. To become a champion, physical ability alone is not enough. True champions are those who don't fear failure. They learn from it. They turn every defeat into strength and believe there's no limit to improvement. That's how they reach new heights again and again. Now let's move from sports to the world of business. What makes a great leader? Is it just intelligence and experience that makes someone a great leader? No. Dweck explains that even in leadership, mindset plays the biggest role. Some leaders believe they already know everything. They think they are above learning. This is a sign of a fixed mindset. Such leaders avoid criticism, fear change, and try to hide their mistakes. In contrast, growth-minded leaders are always ready to learn. They know that no one is perfect and everyone can improve. They value their team's feedback, learn from their mistakes, and are always searching for new opportunities. Steve Jobs is a great example. When he was first fired from Apple, he could have given up, but he saw that failure as an opportunity. He learned new things, improved his leadership, and eventually returned as a stronger and more successful leader. That was the power of his growth mindset. Now let's talk about relationships. Have you ever wondered why some relationships stay strong while others break down at the first sign of trouble? The reason also lies in mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that if problems arise in a relationship, then maybe that relationship isn't right for them. They expect love to work effortlessly without any effort. But people with a growth mindset understand that every relationship takes time and work. They see problems not as the end, but as a chance to understand each other better and grow stronger together. Strong, lasting relationships are built when both people try to improve themselves and help each other do the same. They don't ignore small issues, but talk them out and find solutions together. They don't see criticism as a personal attack, but as a chance to grow. In every part of life, sports, business, relationships, our mindset is the biggest factor in whether we succeed or fail. If we believe we can learn, improve, and grow, then we really can. Whether you're on the field, at work, or with someone you love, your mindset will shape what your life becomes. Chapter 5. Parents, Teachers, and Coaches. Where mindsets come from. Have you ever wondered where our mindset actually comes from? Why do some people get anxious in the face of challenges, while others treat those same challenges as opportunities? Why do some children keep moving forward in life, while others give up after a small failure? The answer lies in the people who shape our early lives, our parents, teachers, and coaches. Our mindset doesn't appear out of nowhere. It forms from the messages and behaviors we experience as children. In childhood, we're like blank pages. What our parents tell us, what our teachers teach us, and how our coaches guide us. All of it builds the foundation of how we think. If a child is repeatedly told, "You're very smart," they may start to link their identity to their intelligence. But if that same child is taught, "You learned this because you worked hard," they will keep their mind open and enjoy the process of learning. Often, parents unintentionally limit their children's mindset. When they say, "You're a genius since birth," it may sound like praise, but it creates a fixed mindset. The child begins to believe their success depends only on their natural abilities. And when that same child faces a difficulty and struggles to learn something, they feel like they're not as smart as they were told. The result? They start avoiding challenges because they fear being seen as weak or incapable. On the other hand, when parents tell their children, "You can learn anything if you work hard," they foster a growth mindset. That child does not fear failure, but sees it as a chance to learn. They understand that with enough practice, they can master any skill. Children who are praised for their effort and hard work become more resilient and confident. Now let's talk about the role of teachers. A good teacher doesn't just deliver knowledge, they also shape their students' mindset. Some teachers believe certain students are naturally talented, and others will always fall behind. This is a fixed mindset, and it harms students. When a teacher believes some kids will never be good at math or that some are just average forever, they unknowingly crush those children's confidence. In contrast, a growth mindset teacher gives every student the chance to learn. They know that while each child is different, with the right guidance, all students can improve their abilities. Dweck found in her research that when teachers tell students, "If you try, you will learn," those students begin to perform better even in difficult subjects. Now let's move to coaches. On the playing field, mindset matters just as much as it does in the classroom. A good coach doesn't just train the body, they build mental strength too. When a coach focuses only on winning and sees failure as a negative thing, players start giving up easily. But when a coach teaches that failure is part of learning, the players become stronger. Dweck studied many successful athletes and their coaches. She found that the best coaches always taught a mindset of improvement. They didn't tell their players, "You're naturally gifted." Instead, they emphasized that without effort and strategy, no one can succeed. She found that the most successful athletes are those who are always ready to get better, not those who rely only on talent. Our mindset isn't just formed by our own thoughts. It's shaped by the people who play important roles in our lives. If parents, teachers, and coaches provide the right kind of guidance, any child can adopt a growth mindset and reach great heights in life. Chapter 6. Changing Mindsets: The Power of Transformation. Have you ever faced a challenge and told yourself, "I can't do this"? Or after failing at something, did you start doubting your abilities? If yes, your mindset might be the reason behind it. But the good news is, mindset is not permanent. It can be changed. It can be developed. No matter how long you've lived with a fixed mindset, you can change yourself. And this change can transform your entire life. Change isn't easy. Our mindset is shaped by our thoughts, experiences, and social patterns. When we've been taught since childhood that talent and intelligence are inborn, we start to believe in limits. When we're repeatedly scared of failure, we begin avoiding risk. But Dweck explains that these fears and limits are not real. They're mental traps. And the most exciting part is, once you become aware of this truth, the process of change begins. Our brain is designed in such a way that it constantly learns and adapts. Neuroscience has proven that when we work on something new, our brain forms new neural connections. This means, if today you feel weak in a particular skill, with consistent practice and the right mindset, that very skill can become your strength. But the first thing we need to do is believe that change is possible. When we move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, the first shift happens in the way we think. Where we once feared challenges, now we begin to see them as opportunities. Where we once feared failure, now we begin to see it as a chance to learn. But this change only happens when we start noticing our inner negative voice. Everyone has a voice inside their head that says things like, "You're not good enough." "If you fail, people will judge you." "If you're not already good at something, you never will be." This is the voice of a fixed mindset. But alongside it, there's another voice, the growth mindset voice, which says, "Every failure is a chance to learn." "My abilities are not fixed. They can grow." "If I practice and stay consistent, I can get better." Whenever your fixed mindset voice appears, you have to challenge it. If your mind says, "You can't do this," respond with, "If I practice and work on it, I can." If it says, "You're not smart enough," tell yourself, "Smartness isn't fixed. I can develop it." The most important things during this transformation are patience and consistency. No mindset changes overnight. Many times you'll find yourself falling back into old thought patterns. You'll fear challenges again. Failures will disappoint you again. But these are the very moments when you must remind yourself that you're in the middle of a growth process. That change is happening. Our environment plays a big role in shaping our mindset. If we surround ourselves with people who believe in limitations, who fear failure, who avoid challenges, we'll struggle to break free from a fixed mindset. But if we spend time with people who embrace challenges, believe in effort, and value learning, our mindset will start to shift too. That's why it's important to create a surrounding where a growth mindset is encouraged. Mindset is not a fixed trait. It can be changed at any age and any situation. We must believe in ourselves. We must challenge our own thinking. We must keep learning new things. And most importantly, we must never limit ourselves. We are far more capable than we think. We just need to recognize the power of changing our mindset. And then, every challenge in life will become a new opportunity. So friends, from mindset, the new psychology of success, we learn that our thinking is the real key to our success. If we change our mindset, every challenge in life can become an opportunity. A fixed mindset holds us back. A growth mindset pushes us forward. We must believe in ourselves, learn from our failures, and move every day toward becoming our best version. If you liked this video and learned something new, be sure to like it. Tell us in the comments which part inspired you the most. If you want more book summaries like this, don't forget to subscribe to the BookBreezy channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video where we'll bring you